Now, I don't go ice fishing, but I still like to fish in the winter if the ice hasn't covered up the water yet. It's probably the most peaceful time as there's very few people fishing. I've seen these carp in my local river and always been meaning to try and catch them, but in the summer I'm often going for many different species, so it only seems like it's in the winter when I try to go out for these guys. I'm lucky that in only about a 20 to 30 minute walk I can find some fishing spots at the river. Of course, it's not easy to catch carp in the winter. They don't seem to be as active in feeding, and in the river system they seem to be moving all the time. I've been trying on and off for years, but no luck. When I finally tracked a group of dozen carp, I thought, oh man, this is finally the moment. Unfortunately, that moment happened to be on a day that was minus 13 degrees Celsius. It was freezing my hands and my mind weren't working quite as well as they should have, and you'll see on the release what happens. Capturing the hookup wasn't really that great either, as the cameras are all freezing up and they didn't want to function. At the end of the video, I will show you my setup. We're setting the weight here, sliding weight, and the hook here, maybe about 6-ish inches up, so it's going to hang like that. So the idea with the egg loop knot is you can open that up. Sorry. Very cold this morning. Put that in the loop, close it up, cut into a little bit, not too much, and the hook is exposed there on the back. Drag is set pretty loose. We'll see how this goes. Right about there. Just watching the rod tip, but also the line, because then you'll see the line, come towards you, move up, move down, that sort of thing. But we'll give them some time. It's still a bit early. Finally did it. I got my first Winter River carp. Oh gosh, it's good. I'm gonna unhook it. Get her unhooked, and then I'll take a quick pick and just let her go. Caught it on the bread. Got you unhooked. Wow, this is a good one. Did it. Look at this big guy. Huge. We'll let it go though. That was not graceful. He's off, he's good. Slimy hands. So this is literally just my fishing kit for my river carp fishing in the winter. That's it. Other than I think the only thing that's missing is probably a net and also my bait. Pliers to remove hooks. My mini tackle box. The assortment of hooks and weights and clips and that kind of thing. Stoppers, a couple floaters, 8-pound test line, very, very cheap telescoping rod with a 1000 reel. 10-pound braid on it. Just a 10-pound braid to 8-pound mono. And I just had a very simple sliding weight there. Do a rubber stopper and about 6-8 inches of line. This is where I decided to go with this. So the bait that I was using was some old leftover hamburger bun. Kind of stale, so you couldn't kind of mold it to the hook very well. So in the end, I decided to go with a egg loop knot that I use for steelhead or salmon fishing for my skein or roe. So this is essentially what you do here is you pull out the loop, put the bread inside, cinch it down, and there you get a nice exposed hook like that with the bread hanging right there, exposed hook. And it took me, I couldn't hook up maybe about six takes I missed, but then finally last one just definitely got it in the side of the mouth. And this time I put bread and it worked to catch that carp. And that was just changing up something. So I usually went with corn, that sort of thing, typical thing a lot of anglers use. I had some boilies that I made, that kind of thing. Nothing ever worked. This, however, just stalking, seeing where the fish were, laying this down upstream from them so they could kind of maybe smell it, and they swam up to it and finally took it. So it is good to always try something different, try something new, and adopting, you know, one technique. So a technique that I used for salmon and steelhead also caught me the carp for the very first time in very, very, very frigid water. The fight was very minimal, so there's nothing to show in terms of the fight. It was so cold, I think the fish just gave up, and the fight was probably less than 10 seconds. Sometimes the harder you try for a fish, and when you get it, it's so much more satisfying than anything else you could possibly imagine. Thanks for watching. I hope to see you in the next Ladybug adventure.